Hello, Bobcats. Mr. Buckman here with another set of Greek and Latin roots. These two roots mean earth or land, okay? That stuff underneath your feet, the dirt, all of the rocks underneath, anything that we would call earth or land, okay? And the two roots that we're going to be using these, we've got one that's Greek, so it's a little bit older, and we've got one that's Latin, a little bit newer, okay? The first root that we're going to be looking at is one that you're probably quite aware of, and that is the root GEO, G-E-O. This is a Greek root, which means land or earth. Some of the words you might find that have this root would be words like geographer, okay? Somebody who writes about geography, or somebody who writes about the earth, okay? Or you might also see the word geode. Some of you might have seen geodes before. I remember buying one from a gift shop at the Grand Canyon when I was a little boy, and geodes are those rocks. Now, they look like normal rocks, but when you break them open, they have these fantastic crystal designs that are usually circular inside of them, okay? Beautiful crystal designs. And those formations are known as geodes. Why? Because they come from the earth, okay? Another good example would be geology. Now, there's a lot of confusion about the difference between geology and geography. Think of it this way. Geography, that would be the political and physical maps that we've been looking at in class. Whereas geology, that would actually be studying some of the movement taking place, like the layers of the earth, plate tectonics, volcanic activity, and earthquakes. Those would be things that a geologist would study. Whereas if you were talking about geography, or if you were a geographer, then you'd probably be studying things like, when was the border for South Sudan drawn? Well, that was 2005. Or a geographer, somebody who studies geography, would make sure that they'd understand when the USSR broke up in 1991, they'd have to draw new borders, right? Okay, so those are some of the words we would see containing the Greek root geo. We also have a very fun Latin root meaning the same thing. Terra is Latin, also meaning land or earth. Examples of this root can be seen in the word extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial, what does that mean? Outside of Earth. That is an alien. For any of you that have seen the movie 1982's E.T., that actually stands for the extraterrestrial. An alien! We also have the word terrace. And a terrace is kind of a raised flat mound of dirt or earth that looks like a platform with sloping sides. For instance, in baseball, you might call that the pitcher's mound, but we would also call that a terrace because it's made out of land or earth. Territory, like for instance when we bought the Louisiana Territory from France with the Louisiana Purchase. Another example would be the states of Arizona and New Mexico were actually part of what was known as the New Mexico Territory, and they did not get statehood until 1912. We also have terracotta. Now this is an Italian term meaning made out of earth. This is just a certain type of pottery or sculpture. Now you might remember from our ancient China lessons, we had discoveries of these giant terracotta warriors. Those were those Chinese warriors, sculptures of those warriors, and they're just telling us the style was they were sculpted from dirt, from earth, okay? So we would call them terracotta. That's an Italian term that they use to describe those sculptures. Lastly, I want to go over a few other quick words that contain these roots. I've got 2 for geo. Both of these are very modern words, words like geopositioning, okay? Your GPS tracker can tell you geopositioning, where you're at on Earth, okay? Also, geo-coordinates. This would be latitude, longitude, minutes, seconds, things like that. Your geo-coordinates might tell us where your geoposition is on Earth. Also, the root terra, we have the word subterranean. That just means under, sub, the earth, subterranean, okay? We also have the name of a sea itself, Mediterranean, okay? And you might think that's a silly name for that sea, the Mediterranean Sea, a very popular sea. But just so you know, this word also just simply means that it is almost or completely surrounded by land. Almost or completely surrounded by land, which the Mediterranean Sea is. Okay? So, I've given you a bunch of words that contain the roots, GEO and TERRA. Your assignment for these is I will need 3 sentences written for each one. 6 sentences total. I want 3 sentences using words that have geo in it, and I want another 3 sentences with a word containing the root terra in it. I'll give you a quick example, okay? Mr. Buckman and his team of archaeologists explored the subterranean caves to find new civilizations, okay? Subterranean being underneath the earth, okay? Another example of a sentence might be, I found a very beautiful crystal geode in the gift shop at the Grand Canyon. In any case, I need 3 sentences with words, or at least 1 word, containing geo, 3 sentences containing a word that has terra in it, okay? 6 sentences total. You can email those to Mr. Buckman directly, or you can type it up in a Google Doc and share it with Mr. Buckman as well. Thanks again, class, and have a great day.